Hello everyone. So let's learn the fourth problem. Here bearing of PQ and QR are given. So the bearing of PQ is 17 degrees 18 minutes and the bearing of QR is 45 degrees 23 minutes. Now, and they have also given the coordinates, north and east coordinates of P and R stations. So they have given the north coordinates 250 for P and 982.5 for R station, and the departure coordinates for P is 380 and for R is 825.2. So let's calculate the latitude first. So latitude of PR, x is equal to, so difference between the north coordinates. So what are the north coordinates? 982.5 minus 250. So now the latitude of PR 982.5 minus 250. So that is 732.5. So this is the latitude of PR and this is in positive nature. Now let's calculate the departure of PR. That is equal to difference between east coordinates. So they have given the east coordinates. So control the formula, difference between east coordinates. Now the east coordinates are 825.2 minus 3. 825.2 minus 380. Now departure of PR is 825.2 minus 380. So that is plus 445.2. Now both latitude and departure both are in positive sign. So that means this line PR comes in first quadrant. So now let's calculate length of PR. Length of PR, x is equal to square root of summation of latitude square plus summation of departure square. Now here we have one latitude and one departure. So let's substitute the latitude and departure values. So the latitude is 732.5. Alright, 732.5 square plus the departure is 445.2. Alright, 445.2 square. Now calculate square root of 732.5 square plus 445.2 square. Now the answer is 857 857.18 meters. This is the length of PR. Now the length of PR is 857.18. Now we have to calculate theta bearing. So let's calculate the bearing here. So theta is equal to tan inverse departure divided by latitude. Now that is equal to tan inverse of, so the departure is 445.2. So right, 445.2 divided by latitude is 732.5. 732.5. So now the theta will be tan inverse of 445.2 divided by 732.5. Now the theta is 31 degrees 17 minutes 26 seconds. So this is the theta. Now you can write the theta in quadrantal bearing system. So always the theta instance will be reduced bearing or quadrantal bearing form. So now yes, you can see both the latitudes and the departure. Here the latitude of PR and the departure of PR both are positive in nature. So if both latitude and departure are positive, then that must be first quadrant. So first quadrant means northeast. So you can write this as north 31 degree 17 minutes 26 seconds east. So now here you can write the theta as north 31 degree 17 minutes 26 seconds east. So now after theta we have to calculate the length of PQ and QR. Now we know the length of PR. So PQR will be a triangle. So let's assume it as a triangle. Now in triangle PQR, bearing of QP. So bearing of QP. Bearing of QP wait. So look at the drawing here. This will be Q. Create some space. So I'll erase it completely. So now look at the drawing here. So this will be Q. And here this will be P, and here R. Now they have given bearing of PQ and QR. So bearing of PQ. So bearing of PQ is 17 degree 18 minutes, which means in the first quadrant. So here they have given the bearing of QR, that is 45 degrees 23 minutes. Again it will be first quadrant. So from the first quadrant it connects to the third quadrant and the station R. Now, so if this is the here we draw a dotted line, then this will be the PQR triangle. Now they have given the bearing of PQ and the bearing of QR. Now we have to calculate the angle Q. So we have to calculate the angle Q. Now here first to calculate the angle Q, we need to deduct the bearing of QR in the bearing of QP. So we have to first determine the bearing of QP. So bearing of QP, that is equal to, see here you can see PQ is the forward bearing, then QP will be the back bearing. So bearing of QP is nothing but back bearing of PQ. So that will be equal to 180 degrees plus the forward bearing. So the forward bearing of PQ is 17 degree 18 minutes. So that will be 180 degrees plus 17 degrees 18 minutes. Now 197 degrees 18 minutes. Now that is the bearing of QP. Now deduct. So calculate the angle Q. Deduct the bearing of QR from bearing of Q. Now bearing of QP minus bearing of QR, that is 197 degrees 18 minutes minus bearing of QR is 45 degrees 23 minutes. Now angle Q will be 45 degrees minutes. So angle Q will be 151 degrees 55 minutes. So now let's calculate the next angle P. So we have calculated angle Q. Now we have to calculate angle P here. So to calculate angle P, we need the bearing of PR and bearing of PQ. So the bearing of PQ is already given in the question, and the bearing of PR, it is already been calculated as theta. So 31 degrees 17 minutes 26 seconds, that is the bearing of PR. So by using the bearing of PR and PQ, we can calculate the angle P. So angle P is equal to bearing of PR, bearing of PR minus bearing of PQ. So bearing of PR is nothing but theta, which we have calculated previously. So that will be 31 degrees 17 minutes 26 seconds, I think. Yes, and minus bearing of PQ. So the PQ bearing is given in the question, that is 17 degrees 18 minutes. 17 degrees 18 minutes. Now angle P equal to 31 degrees 17 minutes 26 seconds minus 78 degrees 18 minutes. So that will be 13 degrees 59 minutes 26 seconds. So this is angle P. Now in the same way, now we have to calculate the angle R. So when a triangle, the sum of all the three angles of a triangle must be equal to 180 degrees. So to calculate R, we will use that. So 180 degrees minus of angle P plus angle Q. Now here substitute 180 degrees as it is minus, open the bracket. So angle P is 30 degree 59 minute, 30 degrees 59 minutes 26 seconds plus angle Q is 151 degree 55 minutes. So 151 degrees 55 minutes. Now angle R. So 180 degrees minus of 13 degrees 59 minutes 26 seconds plus 151 degrees 55 minutes. So that will be 14 degrees 5 minutes 34 seconds. Now you got all the three angles of the triangle PQR, and you know the distance of PR. You have calculated the length of PR. Now as per the question, you have to calculate the length of PQ and length of QR. So as we know all the three angles, interior angles of a triangle and length of one side, we can apply sine rule here. So let's apply sine rule, and here is the data here. So let's continue. I have drawn the figure here, and I have written the angle P, angle Q and angle R and the length of PR. So these are the data we are going to use to apply sine rule. Now let's apply the sine rule. Apply sine rule. So here we know the length PR. So let's calculate first the length of PQ. So PQ divided by, so for the length PQ, the opposite angle is angle I. So for the side PQ, the opposite angle is angle R. Now sine R, that is equal to, so this is the unknown length, PQ is the unknown length. To calculate the unknown length, we need a known length. So the known length is PR. So take here PR divided by, so the opposite angle for the line or the side PR is angle Q. Now write sin Q. Sin Q. That's equal to, now substitute the values. So if you keep the PQ as this, PQ, then divided by sin R. So sin, the angle R is 14 degree 5 minutes 34 seconds. That is equal to PR. Length of PR is 800 57.18 divided by sine Q. So the angle Q is 151 degrees 55 minutes. 151 degrees 55 minutes. Now calculate. So after calculation, the denominator sin 40 degree 534 seconds will be sent to the numerator on the other side and multiplied with 857.18. So after calculation, we will get the length PQ is equal to, I will write here. So PQ is equal to 857.18 multiplied by sin 14 degrees 5 minutes 34 seconds divided by sin 151 degrees 55 minutes. Now after calculation, so let's calculate this. 857.18 multiplied by sin of 14 degrees 5 minutes 34 seconds divided by sin 15 degrees 151 degrees 55 minutes. Now the length is 443.36 meter. So the length of PQ is 443.36 meter. Now we have to calculate the length QR. So I will continue that here. Now as for the sine rule, QR divided by sine. So for the line QR, the opposite angle is angle P. No? So that will be sine P, and x is equal to, so already we know the length of PR. So PR divided by sine Q, because the opposite angle for PR side is angle Q. So take sin Q. Now substitute QR, we don't know, so keep it as it is, and sin P. Now P is 13 degrees 59 minutes, 13 degrees 59 minutes 26 seconds, and that is equal to PR. PR is 857.18 divided by sin Q. So here this will be the sin Q. Already here 151 degrees 55 minutes. Now let's calculate QR. QR is equal to 857.18 multiplied by, this goes to the numerator on the other side. So that is sin 13 degrees 59 minutes 26 seconds divided by sin 151 degrees 55 minutes. Now the length QR is, so after calculation I got the value 440.21 meter. Now this is the length of QR. So this completes the fourth problem. So we have found the length of PQ and the length of QR. So this completes the fourth problem. Now let's continue with the next topic, closing error. Now here you can see a traverse. Actually this is a closed traverse, but here you can see the last line TP, it is not coincided with the point P. So as per the definition of closed traverse, so the point here must coincide the point P, but here it has been not closed. So that means there is an error in closing. So now this is the closing error. So this will be P dash. Now if we take a zoom here, then it will look like P dash. So P dash, this is the closing error, the length of closing error. Now so we have to close the error, or we have to balance the error. So for that reason we have to calculate the departure and latitude of the distance. So here there is a distance gap. So this distance gap which falls short to close the traverse will be known as closing error. So always in a closed traverse, summation of latitudes must be equal to 0. Here I said summation of latitudes must be equal to 0 and summation of departures must be equal to 0. So if it is not closed correctly, then summation of latitudes and summation of departures will not be equal to 0. Then we have to close the error. So to calculate the error, there is a formula. So that is closing error. So error will be denoted in the letter small e, that is equal to, here in this figure the error is PP dash. So is equal to PP dash, that is equal to square root of summation of latitude square plus summation of departure square. So this will be the length of the error. Now we have to calculate the reduced bearing of the closing error. So that will be the theta. So to calculate theta, so bearing of closing error. So the bearing of closing error means E. So that is equal to tan inverse of departure divided by latitude. Now this is the formula to calculate the direction or bearing of the closing error. So tan inverse of departure divided by tan inverse of summation of departure divided by summation of latitude. Now this is the formula to calculate the direction of the error. Now after this, so relative error of closure. Formula for relative error of closure. So relative error of closure, that is equal to error of closure divided by perimeter of the towers. So error of closure divided by traverse. So n will be equal to E by P, small e by P. So this can also be written as 1 divided by P by E. So this is the formula to calculate the relative error of closure. So this completes the topic closing error. Now to adjust, how to adjust the error. So here in the closed traverse, sometimes there will be error in the interior angles or exterior angles, and there might be error in the lengths of the traverse. So or the error may be in the bearings. So the taken bearings may be error. So to close the or to compensate the error, see, we have already learned a formula, that is to adjust the angular error, which means it might be interior angles or exterior angles. So for the interior angles, we have the formula summation of all the interior angles must be equal to summation of interior angles must be equal to 2n minus 4 into 90 degrees. So here n represents the number of traverse sides. So the other formula summation of exterior angles. Summation of exterior angles is equal to 2n plus 4 multiplied by 90 degrees. So if the summation of exterior angles is equal to 2n plus 4 into 90 degrees, then the traverse will be correct. So if it is not equal to 2n plus 4 into 90 degrees, then there might be an error. So there is a limit. So if there is an error, then we can distribute the angular error equally to the all the interior or exterior angles. So there is a permissible limit for the error. So the limit is the error should not be greater than square root of n. So here the error should not be greater than square root of n. If it is greater than square root of n value, then we have to do the whole survey one more time. So if it is less than square root of n value, then that error might be distributed equally to all the interior or exterior angles, and the traverse will be adjusted. So here n represents the number of sides of the traverse. Now how to adjust the bearing? So this is the adjustment of angles. Now how to adjust the bearings? Now adjusting the error in bearings. Now here E will be the error in fore bearing and back bearing. Error in fore bearing and back bearing, and n will be the number of sides of the traverse. Sides of the traverse. Now to adjust the error, we have a formula correction to. We have to apply the correction to all the traverse lines or traverse sides. So correction to first line. Correction to first line, that is equal to E by N. That is error divided by number of traverse sides. So this is the correction to the first line. Now correction to the second second line. Correction to second line. Now here, as we are correcting the second line, we have to multiply it by number 2. 2e divided by n, because we are connecting the second line, so the formula becomes 2e by n. Now correction to third line. Correction to third line. Now here again, now the 2 will become 3 here, because we are connecting the third line. So 3e divided by n, and this list goes on. So for the fourth line, the formula will be 4e by n, and for the fifth line, the formula will be 5e by n, and for the nth line, so correction to nth line, which means whatever the number of sides given for the traverse, so that will be n divided by ne divided by n. So here both the numerator and denominator, both in the numerator and denominator, the number of sides will be same. So this completes the adjustment of the errors. So let's move to the balancing of traverse. So if there is an error, then we have to balance the traverse. So for balancing the traverse, we have three methods. The first one is Bodich's rule. The second is transit rule. Here the Bodich's rule can be also called as compass rule, and the third method is graphical method. So let's learn about this in the next class. Thank you.